HTML is assembled on the server in the form of an EJS, and then the browser gets HTML. And so you prepare the page, and then once the page is on the browser, you can do all the cool jQuery stuff on that page, which will probably do AJAX calls. Now, it really depends on the project that you're going to be running or building, how much you'll use that or how little you'll use that. So let's go through this app a bit to start with. So this may look familiar to everyone. We have at the core of things server.js. And you've probably seen this before. It's just got a bunch of Express stuff, sets up some database stuff, and then listens. That's what it does, essentially. Sets up the database, sets up some routes, and then listens for your requests to come in. You can also specify static pages as well in your Express router. So if you have some static stuff, for example, styles, right? Everything in the styles, we've told Express, these are static files. Don't treat them like an actual route. Just serve them. If someone asks for /styles/ something, for example, /style/layout.css, just give them that as a file. So when you do have stuff like images and styles, you have to tell Express those are static files. That's kind of important. All right, so I'm going to start that. Did I run it already? I did. Let's do it again. So let's just npm install this one. I've done it already, but I'll do it again. So we'll install this Node app. There we go. Just like that. It's pretty quick. There. Oh, 0 vulnerabilities. Not bad. Okay, what am I running? I'm running Node 12. Sure. Okay, so now I can start it. npm start. And if we look at the way it starts, it comes up. It does a bunch of requires, sure. It gets our PG pool. It then loads this DB params and it connects. And that's basically it. DB params is this file which has all of our stuff in it, which is being configured in this env file. Now, you'll probably remember in the instructions, it says, take the env.example file and copy it to a .env file that has probably the same stuff. This may be slightly different depending what you have in your Postgres. So that's important. It won't run without that. Without this file, it simply will not run. Okay, so server starts up, grabs the params, makes a new pool, connects the pool, and then sets up all the routes. And those are the ones it sets up. It sets up a /API users and a /API widgets routes. So there are two files that are associated with those different routes. We have users and we have widgets. This is an example, of course. So if I go to my browser, here we go, and I go localhost, I think I saved it. I think I used 8,000. Let's take a look. So this is the page that comes up when you run the app. When you start your server, it renders this page. This is the right there. It's just rendering the page. So what I've done, come on, close all this stuff. Okay, and I have one route. I have a page which is my main page, and that page is right there. So this is the page that I'm displaying right now, which is this main page with a name and an email. It's a form. This is a basic form with a submit button. And when I press on that submit button, it sends a post to my server with API users. So I'm going to go to my, where'd it go? API/users. So I'm going to go to my routes because I know in my server.js, there, in my server.js, API/users is controlled by this particular file, users routes, which is in my routes/users. There. So this is the router for all things API/users. So I'm sending it. Where'd it go? API/users. When I click on this file, it's going to post to API/users. So let's see what's going to happen here. In users, there's the get, and there's the post. But that's, hold on, post slash. There we go. So there's the post for API/users slash, which means nothing after API/users. So you post to that. It's going to get the data from the body, which is just my stuff. It's going to, looks like it's going to run a SQL insert, and then it's going to run that, and then it's going to render the EJS called main. So this post does an insert into my database, and then it will render main with some information. So it looks like there's an EJS called main, and sure enough, there is an EJS here called main. And it just doesn't do much. It shows a button. It says, hello, main. And then I've got some params that I've sent, some template vars I've sent to I just sent the user object to this EJS. This is pretty simple stuff. This is like Tiny App, pretty easy. So, okay. So once again, my server.js says, for all people who go to API/users, send them to that route, which is in this file. There's the post for that API/users slash. So API/users slash goes here, grabs what I send it, which is going to be in the here is a form. So form data, name and email. Okay. And then it's going to insert some stuff and then show me a page, which is going to say, where's my main EJS? It's going to show that one, which is going to say hello main, and then show my user ID and a username and a button. So that should happen. So if I click on this, there we go. And it shows my page, hello main, there with a press me. And when I click press me, it looks like it's going to give me some stuff. That's all. What I've done on this page is this page has jQuery in it. So now once I'm on this, I don't have to reload this page now because I'm on the page. I can start just doing stuff in jQuery. If you look at my page, this is just like a Tweeter page. I've included jQuery and my app.js. And make sure, let's look at my app.js. So I've got a UL app.js. Okay, so I've got a button here. I said this B1 button, which is now we're in our main EJS, a button with ID of B1. There's a button ID equals B1. And so when that gets clicked, it's going to call my onClick function right there. And it is going to, looks like it's going to do a get of all the users, and then it looks like it's do a little loop here. Looks like one of those Tweeter loops of it's going to append an LI to the UL. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, let's try that. So I'll go here. There we go. So it looks like it worked. Any questions so far about what this app is doing? Is it pretty clear, or is it still a little confusing as to what kind of how to trace how this app is working?
Gary,
Yeah.
hi. Can you show us your app.js at the top there? Not sure if you touched on this. Is it line one same as document like .ready? Is it just like a shorthand for that?
Yes, that is document.ready. You're right. Good point. That is the short way to say document.ready. Either one works. It's less bytes, that's all. But this is a document.ready. And I'm saying on B1, when you click it, call that function. So once again, I've now run my server. It has sent me this main.ejs as a page. Once I've got the page, then everything's on me. I can do all my cool jQuery stuff. I don't have to do any more EJS stuff at all. So when I click on the button, let's take a look. It's going to call API/users as a get. Well, that's in the users file, API/users get. And that's going to do this there. So there is API/users get slash. That is going to do a select star from users. Then it's going to get all the rows, and send those rows back as JSON to the Ajax call. So there's no rendering going on here, is there? This is simply going to do a get and send it back. And let's try that. So let's open a browser and we'll do that. We'll do localhost host.
Actually, I have a question in that point, if you don't mind.
Sure, API slash users, and I get back JSON. So yes, what was your question?
So when we are doing the Ajax call, we never want to render anything. We always want to, okay, let me rephrase that. So when we're doing an Ajax call in the front end, then in the back end, we have the route written down with everything that needs to happen, but we never render anything. We just send a JSON object.
That's correct. When you do an Ajax call, you would expect to get JSON back, and you would then use that, like in Twitter, you change things, like I'm doing here. I am in my app.js, I'm doing a get, and then I get the data back, and now I'm doing the same as in Twitter. I'm saying for user of users, I'm going to build an li and then append it to the ul. This ul, which is in my main. So it's right there. Okay. And yes, I will show how to add a route because that's a real important thing. So let's talk about testing these things though. So this is one way, but you notice all I can do is gets, isn't it? I can't do a post, can I? I can just do a get. Well, what if I want to test my route? What if I've got somebody on my team who's gone in and they've got this file just totally, they're working on it and it's just not ready. It's completely in pieces. You see, but I got to test my app, but the page isn't working. What am I going to do? Like, I can't do a thing. They're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, you got to wait till the page is working again because it's in pieces. I've got all the jQuery not working. None of the buttons work. I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait a day. Well, it's like, you can't wait a day. You're doing the back end stuff. So that's a problem, isn't it? So the trick is we don't test our back end with our front end. We test our API separately. And I've done that here. In fact, what I've done, I've, kind of the really easy way, I've gone and tested a get with my browser. Okay. But there is a better way to do that. Okay. And I've shown a few people this already. I use a little browser extension called Rested. And it's Chrome. You can go Rested Chrome. Or Firefox works with it. And it's Rested. A REST client for the rest of us. Does this sound like Festivus? Festivus for the rest of us? Yeah, well, it's REST for the rest of us. This is a little client you use that is really, really cool. I've got it installed here. When you install it, you can enable it, and it makes a little icon right in the top right up there. You may have to turn it on. I've got Firefox, but you can turn it on in Chrome. It'll have a little icon there. You click on that, and then life becomes easy. So I've got a bunch of them saved. Look at that. All the stuff I got saved. Wow. Okay, so let me test. Once again, I'll test a get on that route, which was HTTP colon, whoops, P colon slash slash localhost 8000 slash API slash users. There, look at that. API slash users, I now get a bunch of JSON. Okay, well, okay, you may say, well, that's fine. I can do that in my browser, can't I? Yes, but you can't do a post in your browser. Now I can post to API slash users. And I happen to know that my page is expecting, Postman. Yes, this is like the easy version of Postman. You just install the extension on your browser and it just works. It's also really fast and you can save these as well. So let me do a post. So I'm going to post. Let's do what this form does. Let's go to our form because we know that this form is going to do a post to slash API slash users. So am I there? Yes. Post to API slash users, but expect some data. It's going to send the name and email. Now this is a form. So this is not an Ajax query. This is actually HTML doing a post. So I have to tell it this is now URL encoded form data. Okay, so name, it expects the item called name. And we'll say, new name. Sure. It also wants one called email. Email, okay? Email. And we'll say, my mail at, gmail.com. So now I'm going to post to my backend. Now notice I'm not using this page because maybe this page is being worked on and it's totally in pieces and I can't use it. We use this tool. First off, this tool works. We know there are no bugs in it. So when you do a post, if you get back the desired answer, you know that your backend is indeed working. So when I do a post to API/users back to my code, what should happen? That is in users. Post. All right, there's a post. Grabs the body. It's going to build a query. Okay. It is going to insert into the database the name I give it, and then it's going to render the main page. Let's see if that happens. So a little bigger. Let's see if that happens. Okay. And I got back my stuff. I set my post, my rested to send URL encoded form data to that route, and I got back the EJS, just like I expected. Let's try it again. And there we go. I got back an EJS. So I've tested that particular endpoint now. When I click on the post and send request, I get a 200, which means everything's good. So any questions on this particular test? It allows us to test the endpoint. And notice I didn't touch the HTML at all. So now I know the endpoint does what it's supposed to do. Okay. Because I tested it, it's an independent test of that endpoint. So let's say the front end person says, hey, Gary, the backend API/use post is not working. I'm not getting the EJS. And now I can say, oh, hold on, let me take a look. Go to my test. Okay, let's just see. Okay, I'll send name, new name, and well, it is sending it. So yeah, I think I'm okay because my endpoint works. So you can tell the front end person, well, it is doing when we test it, it's doing the stuff. So maybe the front end software is not sending the right request to get back that data. And that's really good because you can really separate the concerns of front and back end, because that's quite important. When you're working on the back end, it's really good to remember I'm on the back end. So I'm only concerned with what I'm getting in for parameters or body and what I'm sending out. I'm not going to concern myself with divs and ULs and lists and that kind of stuff. That's somebody else's problem. You may have heard the term separation of concerns in software development. That really does mean not my problem. So that's testing. So the question is, if we're requesting data, would you use Axios as a replacement for the request package? Yes, you could use Axios on the back end to do a request. And we do this a lot, actually. Let's say we have the following scenario. I've got some API that I registered with Google, and I gave them my information, and they sent me back an API key, which is pretty important. I don't want to be sharing that with a bunch of other people. So what I would probably do is I would send a request to my server. I'd have my server then make that request with that really private API key to Google or Twilio or whoever is doing it, and it would come back to me and then go back. So that's what I would do. So that's what you can probably do, is have the node server make that request. And Axios is great. It works. It's one of the better ones. We'll use Axios a lot coming up in our React week in a week or so. So I've tested this backend. Let's make a new route, shall we? So let's make a new one. I think I have one called widgets. Why don't I make one called, I'll make a brand new one. Let's make a brand new route. I'm gonna actually copy this because I don't feel like writing one from scratch. So I'm gonna copy this to a new file. I'm gonna call it things. We have a route for things. So this is our things route. We're not gonna actually do anything in our route really yet. We're just gonna have it just work. So I got a router that I've made. It's a brand new router, and all it's gonna do, let's just, res dot end with like hello there. All we're gonna do is send back hello. So we built the router. We have to hook it up to our server.js, and that's actually very easy. This is called things.js. Go to our server. We're going to require, so there's where I'm requiring my other one. So I'll just add one here and I'll call it things right there. Things routes. Things routes and slash things. Come on. Cool. Okay. Things routes. And I've said now I'm requiring things routes. And let me hook it up. I actually have to express that when you see anything that starts with, we'll just say slash things. No API, just slash things. If you see anything that starts with slash things, send it to this one, our new things router. There we go, things.js. Things routes, there we go. Send, and we get hello. We have just created a new route, a new router and a new endpoint, which is get slash things. I can do a get slash things slash something. Let's try that, shall we? Let's make a new route for slash things slash stuff. There. So this is a get for slash things slash stuff, and we'll say hello stuff. Okay. Okay, let's say hello stuff. So that's all we have to change, because we've already told the server all things slash things go here. So it should just pick up our new route. Let's try that in our client. So slash things slash stuff. Hello stuff. Great. Let's try a post route. Okay, sure. Let's do a post. There we go. Just a post. And we'll go hello post stuff. There. Okay, so hello post stuff. We're doing a post. So let's go back to our client. We'll send a post. Do things slash stuff and hello post stuff. There we go. So new routes are easy to create. Once you've got them, the plumbing hooked up, and that's just 3 steps. Require the file, hook it up to your app, and then, of course, write stuff inside the file. So there's your file. I made that file, I just copied one of them, and I stripped out stuff I didn't need. So take your file, require it, hook it up to your app. It's good to go. That means your app is now going to respond to slash whatever you choose as that. And then you can go to your route and you can add as many of these as you like. I could say res.json. I could say, let's send it, let's go res.json, and I'll send an object. Just send an object there. Hello and stuff. So now I'm going to send an object with hello stuff in it. I'm doing res.json. That's because to res.json, hello stuff. So now I do a get once again on stuff, and I get an object, hello stuff. It's that easy. They make it really easy to work with. Okay, that really covers pretty much everything we need to go through with this. We talked about the server.js. That's the kind of the center of everything. This is where all the plumbing gets connected. You require your routes files, which are here, those ones. You hook them up to the app here, and then that's it. You don't touch server.js really again. You create the file, things.js, you create some routes like that, and they can do anything you want. And they can either send text or they can send JSON, and they can do gets and they do posts. And you can test them with this really nice lightweight application called Rested. And you can save things. You can say, I want to save this one. Let's save that get. Okay, I'll save it in a collection. I've got a bunch of collections, so I'll just save one. Or I can make a new one. I can make a new collection. Let's see. Make a new collection called midterm. So this one, I'll edit that and I'll call it midterm. Sure, there. And I'll save this collection. I'll save this in my midterm collection. There. Now I've got it. If I do a post, there, saying stuff. Okay, I can click on this one again, and my get's back there again. So if I do a get or post on API/users once again, API/users, and with name and that, I should get back EJS because I'm expecting EJS from that route. Let's double check again. The post, yes, it does. It does a render of this main. This is what we do a lot. We trace how it's going to work. So we start at app, who's handling /API/users. Okay, looks like this file is. Okay, let's go to that file. There it is, post API/users/. What's it going to do? Oh, it's going to send us a render of main. Let's go find that main and we'll take a look. There's the main. It should look something like this. So I should get something like that when I do a post. Go to our REST client, we'll say submit, and it sure looks a lot like that, doesn't it? Let's take a look. Looks pretty close. Hello main, hello main. Yeah, it has all my stuff. Okay. And of course, the rest is just, of course, I added some. So now I'm now in jQuery land. So now backend stuff, there's no more EJS happening. Now it's all app.js stuff. So now I'm in app.js land doing all this cool stuff like in Tweeter. I don't have to reload that page again. So really no more EJS unless I want to go to a page that is dramatically different from this page, in which case I'd get a new page that had more stuff. Okay, any questions on this one? Because that's pretty much it for what we're doing here. So.